Former Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has appeared in court for the second day of his sentencing hearing for the murder of Reeva Steenkamp. As part of the day's proceedings, Steenkamp's father gave an emotional statement describing the moments after he found out his daughter had been killed.
And on my way home, I tried to fathom out what she tried to tell me. Then I realized that she mentioned Reeva. She says, come home immediately, and Reeva's name was there. And that's when I started the panic. And then driving home, I realized more and more Reeva's been killed. It hit me then. It's like it happened yesterday. And that's how I first heard about it.
Reeva Steenkamp's father, Barry Steenkamp, there. Let's go to Noma Bolani, who's following the story for us in Pretoria's High Court. Noma, a hugely emotional testimony there by Reeva's father.
Yes, it definitely is an emotional day today in court. This is the first time that one of the parents of Reeva Steenkamp actually gave, in their own words, testimony about how the day changed their lives. We see that even though it's 3 years after the incident, her father, Barry Steenkamp, is still grieving the loss of his daughter. He struggled throughout his entire testimony in the witness box, crying and shaking visibly. He even explained that he still thinks about Reeva every day. He still talks to her. He still prays about her, saying that it's very difficult for them and he doesn't wish this on anybody, losing a daughter in such a manner.
Indeed, quite emotional watching that. He has said today that he wants pictures of Reeva's wounds to be released to the world. Why did he say that?
It was such an emotional plea to the court to say that, those gruesome and graphic pictures to be released to the world, saying that, he wanted people to see what kind of pain Reeva must have gone through that day that Oscar Pistorius shot four bullets into the door, hitting her 3 times. He says he wants people to see how devastating the effects were on her body. This to deter, other people who'd be likely to commit similar crimes. He also spoke about forgiveness, after that, saying that he and his wife June are Christians and have forgiven Oscar, but that doesn't mean that he has forgiven. This doesn't mean that he mustn't pay for his crimes. The forgiveness does not exonerate him from serving time in jail.
What was Oscar Pistorius' demeanor today? Because he appeared to be struggling yesterday.
Yes, we've seen a trend of Oscar Pistorius struggling, especially when state witnesses have been called to describe, some of the instances involved in this matter. Today was the same. He struggled, especially when Barry Steenkamp was explaining how devastating the effect was on their lives as a family. We saw his head bound down. When he looked up, his face was very red, and you could see that he was crying throughout that testimony.
Noma, briefly, I believe there are other people testifying today. What else can we expect?
Well, yes, right now we have a nurse from the Correctional Services Division at the prison where he served a year, who's basically explaining, Oscar, what was Oscar like as a prisoner. She's basically detailing that at the beginning of him serving his sentence, he actually had a violent outburst towards her, and that he was very demeaning towards herself, as well as the doctor who was treating him, and say that they have a very difficult relationship because of that.
Interesting. Okay, many thanks for that. Noma Bolani there following the story for us from Pretoria's High Court.